Here on New Mexico in Focus, we often talk about economic development. There are many different angles to look at businesses. And this month, we're hearing from entrepreneurs who have built or grown businesses here in Albuquerque. Victor Limery's parents owned a grocery store, and he didn't see himself going into that business and worked in the IT industry for several years, but he later found a new purpose when he took over the Tallinn Market, which sells food from across the world at locations in Albuquerque and Santa Fe. I sat down with him recently to talk about entrepreneurship and his experience running a local business. Victor Limery from Tallinn Market, thank you for coming in. I'm so excited that you're here.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, I love Tallinn Market. It's an amazing place. We have a lot to cover here because I want to start way at the beginning though. This was a family business. Your dad started it 25 years ago. What was the whole beginning of the process for the market?
It was almost haphazard, and when we came here in the mid-'70s, Asian food was really unheard of in New Mexico, and especially Southeast Asian. Mm-hmm. So my family's from Laos, and when we came here, my parents just couldn't find any of the food that they grew up with, and American food was just not. Right. It was so foreign that they thought hamburgers and pizza were just disgusting. Right. So what they ended up doing was going to California on a regular basis and bringing back foods, and then as more immigrants came and more friends and family were coming here, they would ask us, hey, can you bring us this as well, the next time you go? And it kind of, my dad ended up turning our pantry into a little shop, and then it became our garage. And so then eventually he decided he was going to open a store.
And what year was that? What year did the store open?
That was in 1981.
Okay.
He was working a day job, actually a night job, and then running the store during the day.
Wow, no kidding. And how early did you personally get involved in the store?
I remember probably as young as 8 or 9, I was actually manning the cash register.
Nice.
At one point. And thinking back at it now, it's like, well, I don't think a lot of people would appreciate having a little kid at the cash register, but I was just helping out wherever I could.
Yeah. Now, obviously, there was a turn of events in between that first store in the sprawling situation that you have now. What happened in the interim to make that leap? That was an amazing leap in size.
In that interim, there was a very slow growth,
Yeah.
and actually, I never wanted to have any part of the business after I finished high school. Right. I thought I was going to get into computers and go and do different things. And I think around 99 or 2000, I think the city had called us and said, well, we want to try to push people to redevelop parts of Albuquerque. Mm-hmm. And so we kind of embarked on a process deciding, well, is this what we want to do? Because I think my parents at that time were they were kind of feeling the effects of running this business, which was their lives for so long. Mm-hmm. And then we decided, if we're going to do something, let's make it different enough that we want to continue this, for however much longer we want to do this, and really make it something that we can be proud of. But then people here locally can say, we're so glad that this is here, rather than just another like Asian grocery store or just another ethnic grocery.
Sure. How big is the square footage, in fact?
The new store is probably about 30,000 square feet.
Wow, no kidding.
It's more than double the size of our previous store.
Can I tell you, that's a risk.
Yes.
I'm sorry, that's a risk. This is a classic business story. Yes. How confident were you that the marketplace, meaning the city of Albuquerque, could meet you and the family halfway? Because you got to fill up that kind of square footage with a lot of different products and a lot of different exotic products for a lot of different people. This is a risk. Obviously it worked out, but at the time, what were you guys thinking?
It was a leap of faith, really. Yeah. My family and even my wife's family, we're all passionate about food, right? And so, we thought, well, let's give it a try, because obviously there was a lot of money involved, and failure was really not an option.
Sure.
But we were pretty confident because around that time we started seeing more interest in food, where people were starting to kind of celebrate the celebrity chefs, and that's when Iron Chef started to become very popular on the Food Network, and all these other shows where people were starting to see food as something special, rather than just. I think for a lot of people going grocery shopping, it's a dreaded chore that they have to do every single week.
Right.
And our goal behind what we were doing here was to make it something where people would enjoy, because if you look around most of the world, going to the food market is actually a social event. right? If you look at Europe and Asia, a lot of these places, people go to their little markets and they chat with their friends, they engage with the butcher, the seafood monger, whoever
Sure.
they're there to buy the products from. And when and we really lack that here in the United States, because I remember when I was still single, I would go grocery shopping at 2 in the morning because I wanted to avoid people, right?
Right.
I didn't want any lines. I didn't want, and
Right.
and when you think about food, it's required to live, and not just required, but it should be celebrated.
Sure.
Because you think about all the things you put into your body, it becomes part of you. But then also, if you think about some of the best times of your lives are probably centered around food, whether it's a holiday, a family gathering, or just with friends.
Sure.
And so, we wanted to make sure that food was special again.
Sure.
And so that's kind of why we decided the store had to look more than just a white box building with with names with
right.
aisle numbers. It had to be something different. People had to feel like they were traveling. And so we set on a process to kind of bring some entertainment value to it.
Yeah.
In
I'm
a
just
way,
realizing now why your place is so much fun. I never realized this was on purpose.
yeah,
That's
it
interesting.
is on purpose, and we tried to make it so it didn't seem too artificial.
Right.
But didn't want to make it seem like it was an amusement park. But at the same time, I think we wanted to really celebrate the customers that we have, because
Yeah.
all these people come from so many different places. We wanted to make sure all our Cuban customers had their Havana aisle, and so on. So
That's the beauty of the International District, isn't it? There's at least, I remember talking to Councilor Ray Garduno about this, there's at least 75 different nationalities recognized in your immediate vicinity, in your area. That poses a unique challenge, it seems to me. But then in addition, you have another store in Santa Fe. So you're talking about a whole different clientele in Santa Fe. Talk about that. What's the difference between the Albuquerque need and the Santa Fe need for stuff?
I think what we see in Albuquerque more, just because of the larger population, and then and especially where we are in Albuquerque, a lot of immigrants start off in this part of town, in the International District, and over time they probably move away to other parts of town, but they always come back. We like to think part of it's because of us, but then a lot of them have their places of worship, their community centers in that area. So it very much feels natural. I think for Santa Fe it's a little bit different, because for some people it might be their second home, and so but then they also bring their own worldly experiences for their travels and different tastes. And so when we opened our Santa Fe store, I think there was a little bit of hubris. We thought that we knew what people wanted, and so we kind of took a subset of what we had in Albuquerque to Santa Fe, and we were actually quite surprised that people were asking for all these esoteric ingredients, or at least we thought they were esoteric, because you really have to know a cuisine really well to want to use certain things like shrimp paste, like real shrimp paste where it's fermented shrimp, and want to use it in a dish. And so then that's when we started to find out, hey, a lot of these people, they want that authenticity. They don't want something that's kind of American.
They might be willing to pay a bit of a premium to get it too, because they know it's only one place they can get it, so that's not so bad at all. Much success, much congratulations for your success in the family, for sure. It's really been a wonderful thing for Albuquerque, and I'll see you down there.
Thank you.
I love it there for the holidays, so I'll see you next week.
Okay.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you.